we only see the product, so to say, in the supermarket. You know, it's just there. We don't care. We don't think about how it gets there, but there are actually a lot of people working on this fruit every day. It's coming from the other side of the world, which is by itself insane. Acai is originally an indigenous fruit that grows in the Amazon, but it has been getting more popular, commoditized, and marketed in the United States and in Europe as well. And it's usually something that you eat with your breakfast or in a smoothie bowl. But it is an indigenous product from origin and it grows in the Amazon. And indigenous and traditional communities have been eating the fruit for decennia, decades. I think the step before this was that I wanted to go to the Amazon. I've traveled a lot and I just got so impressed by nature and how special it is. And, you know, so that really fascinated me. And then we got a guest lecture. She was an engineer and she was doing research about rubber tappers in the Amazon and how this very sustainable shoe brand Veja, I don't know if you know it, you know, used the rubber from the Amazon. And her story was really impressive. And I was like, I need to do this as well. Of course, I had this idea of this is what I want to do and this is going to be my research question. But the moment I got in Brazil, I already realized, okay, it's not going to go this way. But what I mainly did is I read a lot. I talked a lot to other researchers, to other professors, get an understanding of, you know, the general sense of Brazil, what was going on there. There in Brazil itself, there is also they have a very big history with colonialism and with racism, and these are aspects that I really needed to include in my research because as I got along, I was there for 4 months, and you know I was figuring out this value chain, what is happening in this value chain. And at some point I decided, okay, I want to interview different people within this value chain. The big agro companies, as we already talked about before, they are taking a big part of the profits. Something other that really struck me and was what I got told a lot of times during the interviews is the Amazon reality, which basically means that the Amazon, when I flew in to Belém and landed very short into the forest, I saw a lot of containers, big platforms, you know, everything is there to extract from the Amazon, to extract minerals, materials, food, everything. But there isn't any infrastructure to get anything into the Amazon. What really helped me during the masters was you know, and I also, Ingrid was very good at constantly bringing that up, is the critical thinking. And this also changed during me doing my thesis, because in the beginning I was very optimistic about the bioeconomy. And I really thought that would be the answer to, you know, where are we going in this world and how can we be sustainable, but also earn money and be good to the world. And I thought, yeah, this bioeconomy has it all, but you need to be critical. You know, is there truly a win-win for strategy for everyone, or are there always people or nature or animals that are losing in this strategy? And that is something that's a constant during the masters. I think that you're critical towards yourself, towards others, towards professors. And I think one other thing that was very important for my research, but also for me as a person, what we also get taught during the masters, is that there are different truths in the world. People have different realities. People have different upbringings, and one truth isn't any less truth than another truth, which is kind of vague. But as I was doing research in traditional communities and in the Amazon, and there are a lot of different perspectives on how to go to this bioeconomy ideal. And I think nature and the concept of sustainability is very fluid. There's no one definition of it. My advice would be go out there go explore the world. What is sustainability? And I think a lot of businesses are using the concept right now as something, as a marketing tool or something. Okay, let's be done with it. But I wanted to actually experience what I've been learning the last 2 or 3 years, and I wanted to see it for myself. I literally wanted to be with my feet in the, in the forest. So I just got out there, and it was an incredible experience, and it wasn't like anything that I expected, but I learned a lot of it. Not even theoretical knowledge, but also a personal experience. So yeah, my advice would just go out there and experience the world. When I got back, I felt a big frustration within me, as I had all this knowledge also about how unfair the world can be. I want to take that energy and put it somewhere where I feel I can make the world a better place. I'm busy with the publication of an article about my research, because I'm not yet done with telling the story, but it will definitely be in the environmental field. Yes. Yeah, I'm not gonna let that go.